We have been doing this podcast for what, a couple of months? Yeah, we started in September. It's now December. Yeah, good, solid 3 or 4 months. And what we've always tried to aim for is a good, well-baked, mature podcast that people can listen to, on the commute home, on the commute to wherever they work, or even, as it's based and as it's run by teenagers and students, for those people like us, people who can relate to us, because we put projects and we put episodes and plans out for you guys. And I think one way that is just so beautiful to hear and is all the support. I mean, it's so like ridiculous. I mean, when I started with Freddy back in the old days, it was like honestly, it was like 50. I expected about 50 views, and we managed to get over 1,000 views on an episode. That's ridiculous. So thank you. And what I was going to talk about was we've managed to get a sponsor for this episode. It's really exciting. It's not really a sponsor actually, it's a promo swap. So the idea is we plug this person's podcast and they plug ours, and it's all great. So what we'll do is we'll put the link for their trailer in the show notes of this episode. So if you go into it, let's say you're using Spotify, you just go into the little note thing and you can see the description of the video and it should be there. So that way you can go and visit and have a listen to it. The podcast is called On Record, and it's by a fellow teen called Ananya, and she basically does episodes like kind of intended for teens, and how they can relate to her different subjects that she talks about. So she does an episode, for example, all about the presidential election, and because she's from America, so she talks about how does this affect teenagers, and it's really interesting. It's a really good listen. You should have a listen to it. It's called On Record, and that's on any podcast streaming service, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, anything you want. It's amazing. And yeah, so I just like to say thank you for the amazing support. And it's we're moving places because of you guys. So hope you enjoy. Thank the Lord the 2020 is over. In this episode, our Christmas special, we will be talking about just that.
Exactly, what we missed, what we didn't and anything in between, but not everything is happy days for New Year. There's also some very sad news that we shall address. Anyway, let's talk about something really special. Ever since we started, we have collected over 3,000 views. We've had over 200 unique listeners, and every day we're getting wonderful messages from you guys.
That is a point that I want to highlight, actually. This is only because of you, the listener. It is surreal that we have been able to reach these staggering statistics, and we have no one other to thank than you guys.
And we know that you're thinking, although I say that or it won't be me. Well, it is you. You deserve an enormous thank you from everyone at RealPeel Studios.
Hello, it's just me in this next segment of the show. It's actually quite late at night, so no one, only I'm able to be here. But what we'll be doing, we'll be discussing like a little 2020 review for obviously it's Christmas, and by the way, Merry Christmas, by the way. But anyway, right, let's go. There's a lot of stuff that's happened this year, obviously, but let's start with the Australian bushfires. Now this happened. Oh, okay. So look, I've got it here. So the country faced one of its most devastating wildfires. So it started in December 2019. So actually, yeah, okay, fair enough. So what the strange thing about this, the Australian bushfires, is that it felt like about 7 years ago. It felt so long ago, and I think that it only happened this year. It ended, I think, in around February. But it killed over 34 people. It burned a record of 47 million acres. That's ridiculous. And it displaced thousands of people. Jesus, that feels so long ago. I don't know. That's probably just me, but I don't know. It felt like a donkey's years ago. Anyway, just to put that in there. So, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it did start in 2019. So, anyway, now this is one thing. The next bit I'm about to talk about feels like, it has literally not affected me in any way. But Meghan and Harry, they quit the royal family, apparently. Can you believe that? They quit. Okay, so look, I got it here again, the information. So, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex shocked both sides of the pond on the January the 8th. So this was actually this was during the Australian bushfires, when they announced that they were stepping down as senior royals. Wow, Meghan and Harry. I actually think I really like Meghan and Harry. They're good people. Right, the next thing that's happened, I don't think this is in actual chronological order. Sorry, order. I don't think this is in chronological order. I think I just kind of put them together and hope for the best. So, the Black Lives Matter protest. Now, this is massive, and I think this is probably the second biggest thing that happened this year, aside from COVID, obviously. And yeah, it was massive, and I think it's fair to say that it did kind of die down a tiny bit in the middle between. So obviously the police killings of George Floyd and Ahmed Arbery and Breonna Taylor, that sparked a wave of peaceful, and that's the important thing, peaceful, but very, very, sometimes, only sometimes, and rarely violent protests. That was across the world, and that was to end, obviously, police brutality and racial injustice. And then it didn't. I don't know how to phrase it, because it didn't like die down completely, because obviously it was still around and people were still going on about it. But then it like shot back up again when Jacob Blake, he was shot by police in Wisconsin, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. Can you imagine that, being paralyzed from the waist down? Someone come up to you, shooting you because of the color of your skin, and then being paralyzed. That is awful. Jeez. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah. So then that happened. Black Lives Matter then also sparked a lot of stuff to do with Black History Month, which happened in October, which is great, by the way. You should have, hopefully you were involved in that. And then, okay, then the funny thing happened. Now we may get I don't know, like cancelled or like told off for saying this, but the Kim Jong-un death rumors. Now the Kim Jong-un, so he's obviously the dictator of North Korea, and yeah, it's a dictatorship. That's all I'm gonna say. And so he was like, I think everyone kind of thought for a minute that he was dead, basically, because he wasn't at all these different events. And like, okay, so it says here, the North Korean supreme leader fueled speculation that he was either gravely ill or dead after he missed events commemorating his grandfather Kim Il Sung on April 15th. He re-emerged 20 days later in photos released by state media at a ribbon cutting ceremony. Now, what's the funny thing about it, right? So yeah, so 20 days later, everyone's seen him in the photo, but then it turns out that actually, so officials claimed that the appearances in those photos were all faked, and actually he was in a vegetative state. Vegetative state. That's what you have to say. Imagine that. Imagine Kim Jong-un being dead, and then like, it's not really. Well, I guess it is kind of funny because it's a dictatorship. It's a bad country. I just find that really funny that everyone thought he was in a. He could have been in a coma pretty much, and like, everyone just faked it. Everyone was like, "Oh no, he's in the picture. He's doing a ceremony." Oh, and that's really funny. Anyway, then a bit more light-hearted as we go along. Actually, it's probably not light-hearted. I probably shouldn't make jokes because, I guess there's serious stuff, but it doesn't affect me. The only people who it's affecting is like billionaires who barely will even be touched by this stuff. Twitter accounts were hacked. So it says here, a group allegedly spearheaded by a Florida teen took over the Twitter accounts of prominent business and political figures, including Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Kanye West, in a Bitcoin scam. That is hilarious. That is just so funny. Oh god, like the thing that's happened this year, or everything that's happened this year, that is just a light-hearted thing. It's not. I mean, I guess it kind of robbed them of their money, and they need that money. Joe Biden, he's the president of America, but I mean, I could not care less. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that was very funny, I guess. Then obviously the serious matters. I don't. Does it say when it happened? I don't remember exactly when it happened. August the 4th. The Beirut explosion, which was ridiculous. It was. It says here, so a massive explosion at a Beirut port sparked August the 4th by accidental detonation of 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, which killed at least 190 people. When it happened, basically, I must have been scrolling through Instagram, and I saw BBC News' account, and it came up with loads of pictures of Beirut now, and I was like, Jesus, what's happened? How come it's all, what's this? And I looked at the caption, and honestly, it was ridiculous. And then as soon as I saw that, I went straight to the news, because actually I was in Dorset when it happened with my family. We were with my grandma, and we turned on the news, and it was ridiculous. There were people just stranded around, and for days there was so many stories on it because it was massive. And I think the videos were also terrifying. Please, if you can help it, try not to watch the videos because they're absolutely terrifying. That was awful. 190 people killed. Jesus. So that was August the 4th. Then, later on in the year, quite recently now, Joe Biden wins the election. He became the 46th president of the United States on November the 7th, a day before my birthday. And he obviously defeated President Trump, thank the Lord, with a critical assist from his birth state, Pennsylvania, which delivered the votes to propel him to victory and end one of the most contentious elections of recent memory. Oh, wow, that was a memorable moment. I remember in school, it literally, like, every time there was a spare moment, we was like, "Hey, miss, or sir, turn on the TV so you can see the news, the live election." It was so funny, honestly. I mean, yeah, he won. Thank the Lord. I probably shouldn't be biased on this podcast, but anyway, who cares? Honestly, that was a massive moment, and it took I don't know why it was so long. Like, I feel like last year must have been like 2 or 3 days. This one was like a week. And then, of course, Trump decided to like, put it back and say, oh no, look, I've actually I can actually put Joe Biden back because I've actually got loads of states. Okay, that's all waffling and all that. What was really funny, I think, was how Trump basically put on Twitter and like nationally announced, "Oh look, I've won the election." When actually he totally had not. He just said that for the sake of it, which I found really funny. You know what's really interesting though? The fact that basically, because obviously he's done all these crimes, which he's about to put in prison for, but as a president, you had the power to like legally take someone out of prison, out of jail, and like kind of just dismiss their sentence or whatever it is. So basically, what could happen is theoretically Trump could kind of legally, if he gets put in prison before he's put down the president, before it's given to Joe Biden, then that means that he could theoretically say, actually no, I'm the president, I'm allowed to do this. Can I just take myself out of prison, because he's allowed to do that. That's law in America, where a president can say, alright, I dismiss this person. I think it happened quite recently with Kim Kardashian. I think basically she wanted someone, so this innocent man, I think, I don't know the full details, so it's not gonna be like factually correct all the time, but so Kim Kardashian wanted this innocent man who was framed for murder, to be, or was it murder? To basically be taken out of prison, but so Kim Kardashian had to get Trump's permission. So it could be the same thing where Trump has to kind of give himself permission. Like Trump can take away people's imprisonment and then so they have to be in prison. But he could do that to himself. He could say, actually, I'm the president, I'd have to be in prison. But the thing about this, the most really interesting part about this, is that he has to admit that he's done all of his crimes in order for this to happen. He has to say, okay, I have done it, but I'm going to dismiss myself as a crime, as a prisoner, as a criminal. So that means that Trump has to admit that he's actually gone and done it, which would be very funny. That'd be a really good movie idea, I reckon. Now, obviously, that's been a massive thing, and I've tried to go away from COVID. I've not tried to mention it in this scripting and this planning of this episode, because who wants to hear about COVID? I'm sick of it by now. But what I think was a pretty good idea is if we mention all the celebrities who have died this year, because obviously this year's been catastrophic, but we can't forget the amazing celebrities that passed away in 2020, and I got a whole list of them right here. So there's a lot. So we got obviously Kobe Bryant, which is quite early on in the year. That was catastrophic. He died in a plane crash, I believe. Chadwick Boseman, Marvel Black Panther, he died of cancer. He is one of the coolest people on earth, because he was doing Infinity War. No, sorry, he was doing the newest Marvel movie with like all the different people. I forgot my name now, but he was doing the Marvel movie. Endgame, that's what it's called, Endgame, whilst he still had cancer. He had like stage 4 cancer, which is ridiculous. Glee star, please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Naya Rivera, or is it Naya Rivera? I think it's Naya Rivera. She died, I think she committed suicide, I think. But yeah, she was a Glee star. Glee's a brilliant program. You should definitely watch that. That's really sad. Boba Fett actor, that's Star Wars, which I don't watch, but obviously still important to mention. Jeremy Bulloch, who played Boba Fett, he died. David Prowse, who played Darth Vader. Diego Maradona, who everyone knows about, football legend. Sean Connery, who's a James Bond actor. Caroline Flack, which is quite early in the year as well, again. I think I was shocked to find out that was actually this year as well. She committed suicide, but that sparked like massive protests and stuff to do with bullying and suicide attempts and mental health breakdowns and stuff. And Eddie Van Halen, who who was a rock star legend. He did Jump, if you know that song. That's a great tune. So yeah, that's a little 2020 review. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was great fun doing that. Okay, cool. Right, so next up, I believe, hopefully, we'll have me and Dec exchanging Christmas jokes, which will be very funny and very much of a laugh. A bit not lightheaded, a bit lighter of a mood as opposed to, what happened in 2020. Because honestly, massive. Again, I do want to say I did try and avoid talking about COVID because I didn't think that anyone would want to hear it. Because why would anyone want to hear anything about COVID? Although I will mention, honestly, I feel so bad. And I honestly, please, RealPeelRosenTalk are at your support. Okay, we're with you. Okay, what's happened with the government? What's happened with Tier 4 and everything in the last couple of weeks with COVID, particularly. Stay strong. This is awful. Just honestly, I can't even imagine what it's gonna be like. So many people. Stay strong. All right, let's go on to a little break and we'll come back later. Okay, right. We are now back from our break, and we shall now be discussing some jokes.
Yeah.
Boy, can I wait for this. This is good. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention Dec's here now.
Hello.
Dec's with us.
First time on the podcast, finally.
I know.
Been managing it, been helping you sort it all out since the early days, and
Exactly.
only till now am I allowed on.
Yeah, we've been trying to keep you off because not gonna lie, you're very annoying. I'm joking.
Wow.
Dec, you're amazing. I'm joking. Right. Anyway, moving on. Let's get on to our jokes. So we got about 8 or 9 questions. I think it's 10 actually. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, so about 9. I can't count. So okay, so let's get started. So first things first. Who is Santa's favourite singer?
I don't know.
Elvis Presley.
Wait,
that was a good one.
Can I just laugh a load of times and then you just you reuse them in the edit? That'd
Sure.
be
No,
so
we don't
much easier.
No, we're not doing that. That's cheating, man. We have to do it organically. God, have you ever
What do you
been
mean
managed a podcast before?
organically?
Make it sound real, Okay, anyway, moving on. Why was a snowman looking for a carrot?
I don't know.
So he could pick his nose.
What
God,
are
don't sound too
these
excited, Dec.
jokes?
They're so good. They're funny. They're like
They're not funny.
Christmas cracker jokes. Anyway,
Exactly,
how did
Christmas
Mary and
cracker
Joseph...
jokes, they are not funny.
Fair enough. How did Mary and Joseph know Jesus' weight when he was born?
I don't know, they weighed him?
Nope. They had a weigh in a manger.
Oh,
Do you get it? Because the song.
Yeah, I get it, Oscar. I get it.
Okay, what do you call a bunch of chess players? Okay, this is actually a pretty good one. What do you call a bunch of chess players bragging about their games in a hotel lobby?
Chess players bragging about their games.
No. You gotta do it properly, Dec. Should I tell you the answer? It's chestnuts boasting in an open foyer.
Oh my god.
Blimey, God. I can tell you're loving this, Dec. I can tell you're loving this. Right.
Smiling through the pain, Oscar. Smiling through the pain.
Right. How will Christmas dinner be different after Brexit?
Don't know.
No Brussels.
What are these jokes? You've literally
they're funny.
You've gone onto Google and said you've typed in most cringe jokes.
Don't expose me, Dec. I can't believe you. Anyway, right, okay, I got 2 more. That's it, 2 more. Come on, we can do this, right? What goes ho ho whoosh, ho ho whoosh?
Santa?
Nope. Santa going through a revolving door.
Oh.
Do you get it? Like the one that's been around in his shop.
Smiling through the pain.
God. You're welcome, guys. This is comedy gold, I have to say. Right. Well, okay, one last one. Literally, this is it, okay? What's the difference between Ryanair versus Santa?
I don't know.
Santa flies at least once a year. But
Oh,
God, that
smiling
was
through
comical.
the pain, guys. Smiling through the pain.
You love it, really. Okay, I think we should end it there swiftly and move on. We're gonna move on to it's just me and Freddy in this next bit after we come back from the break, and we're gonna be discussing Freddy's very, very sad news. So make sure to stay for that.
It's really sad, guys.
I know, it's really sad. Honestly, it's heartbreaking, really. Okay, all right, we'll go. We'll leave you now to enjoy some lovely music, and we'll be back in 2 seconds. See ya. Right, I want to end this episode with a really sad news that Freddie has to share because it's his stupid decision, which I'm still always against. But Freddie, would you mind sharing it?
I'm leaving the podcast
Why? Why, Freddie? Why do you have to leave?
because I want to.
It's so annoying. Okay, it's fine. You know, we can. This is just a learning curve. That's what we always say. It's just a learning curve. And you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Freddie. You've been a true delight.
Thank you.
Bit cringe, but yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's end the episode there. Okay. See ya. Bye, Freddie.
Bye bye.
Before we leave, have a wonderful Christmas from the Real Peel team. And before you go, make sure to listen to this wonderful rendition of Hark the Herald by maxrosenbops.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Hark the herald angels sing, a glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners are reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Oh, hark the herald sing.
Oh, we totally forgot to do the New Year's resolutions. Oh well.